Jim Wakeford.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'll try to be brief to allow my honourable friend to take part, but also we're all clearly wanting to get back down and see that it's still coming home. I'll start by taking this opportunity to put on record how grateful I am to all the teachers, head teachers and support staff, especially those in Redcliffe, Whitefield and Prestwich in my constituency. Ministers and the Department for Education staff have also worked tirelessly throughout this pandemic, especially in my constituency, which is over 50 educational institutions within it. Mr Deputy Speaker, I echo many of the things that have been said by my right honourable friend, the chairman of the Select Committee that I'm a proud member of, in his opening speech, which sets out the wide range of issues that are involved here. I know how difficult it can be actually launching one of these estimates debate with having to introduce the debate last year in my honourable friend's absence. The Department for Education has a very special responsibility to improve the life chances for all children in our country and to ensure that the most disadvantaged children reach their fullest potential. I have always argued that our education system plays a major role in the growth and progress of our society. It's the engine of our economy, it's the foundation of our culture, and it is essential preparation for adult life. Over the past 12 months, the government has provided over £3 billion in funding to tackle the devastating effects of lockdown on children's education and well-being. I welcome in particular the government's national tutoring programme, which provided 100 million hours of tutoring for 5 to 19-year-olds by 2025. This is exactly the type of government scheme this country needs to ensure that our disadvantaged children receive the adequate support they need to catch up on what they've missed due to COVID. The National Tutoring Programme will be so important for constituencies like mine because Bury South is ranked in the top 40% of constituencies with the greatest literacy need. Indeed, a third of awards in my constituency are among the highest ranking in the country in terms of their literacy needs. Mr Deputy Speaker, my colleagues and I on the Education Select Committee have maintained that support most focuses on closing that disadvantage gap and ensuring that those left behind pupils who have suffered enormously during COVID-19 are able to catch up. And again, I echo my request to the Minister to have a meeting with me and providers from the NTP to make sure that everyone can be taking part in the scheme moving forward, especially those specialising in online training. The department concluded last autumn that all year groups had experienced a learning loss in reading. In primary schools in particular, this loss has averaged between 1.7 and 2 months. And this was before the second and third lockdown, so I think it's safe to assume that has only worsened since then. We can only expect the level of need to have increased, and we really do need to take this seriously. Furthermore, children with poor language skills at the age of 5 are more likely to experience social, emotional and behavioural difficulties later in life. Early language skills are therefore a crucial determinant of later success. Furthermore, Mr Deputy Speaker, initial data from the second lockdown shows that any progress that was made while schools were able to open in the autumn was lost when they closed to key workers and vulnerable children in the winter. What concerns me the most is the regional variation in these figures, with the North East and East Midlands being worse affected, with the North West being very close behind. And in conclusion, Mr Deputy Speaker, this new decade is going to be challenging indeed. While the ambition of an education recovery plan is a good start, we need a long-term plan to tackle the attainment gap and falling literacy rates. I look forward to continuing to scrutinise the plans both in my role on the Education Select Committee, but also in my role as the chairman of the APPG on literacy. We are keen to come up with viable solutions to address the severe effect that COVID-19 has had on our children and young people, and that should start